Thank you, Madam.
I didn't hear that, but I trust it wasn't too insulting. Whoever said it, the government benches will come to order. Member for Balmain has the call.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question without notice is to the Minister for Planning and Infrastructure. Minister, considering there is no strategic planning approach to the important waterfront Bays precinct, will this government commit to developing and implementing a master plan that will coordinate appropriate development, improve open space and ensure public access to the waterfront?
Thank you. I call the Minister for Planning. Order. Order.
Well, Madam Speaker, I was hoping for a question on the budget from one of the members on the other side to do with planning and housing and all the wonderful things that the Treasurer and the Premier have done. But you know
Order.
what?
The Minister is answering the question and doesn't need any advice from you, the member for Maroubra. The member for Maroubra will come to order.
But look, it's actually, I think it's quite appropriate that I should get a question from a member of the Greens, the member for Balmain, because I think there was a Labor member here before that occupied that position. Strategic planning. Yeah, well, it was strategic planning that you won the seat because they didn't do what they should have done on a whole lot of areas. Look, can I say to the member for Balmain, and similar issues have been raised, I should acknowledge, by the member for Sydney. The Bays precinct area is a very important area. It's 80 hectares. It covers Rozelle, Blackwattle Bay, White Bay. It includes buildings like the White Bay Power Station. It is, in fact, a very significant part of Sydney. And it was another one of those issues that was let down by the former Labor government. What we had, and I well recollect before the 2007 election, there were promises that we'd have a master plan done by the then Premier. Now, later on, we had member for Heffron became Planning Minister and the Premier for a very brief time, and she made similar promises, but of course she also contributed to the demise of Verity Firth. And that, sorry? Nothing happened, you're right, nothing happened. She's a nothing happened girl, that's exactly right. So where we got to was that there was really zilch happened. What we did have was an effort, an initiation, but no actual outcome. And Madam Speaker, member for Balmain would be well aware that after we were elected last year, the Bays precinct was high on the priority list for consideration. So what I did late last year was I implemented a Bays precinct reform, or Bays precinct group. It consists of the RMS, consists of planning, ports, maritime, Sydney Harbour Foreshore Authority, but very importantly, it also consists of the City of Sydney representative and Leichhardt Council representative. Unfortunately, the Labor Party seem to have a problem with engaging and partnering with local government. We don't have that problem. So we established that particular group, and they are working away, and they're working away to a timetable, hopefully to report to me by the end of July. You know, it's really interesting listening to the comments from the Labor Party. I heard the member for Heffron before making not so subtle comments about partnering with council. Will councils actually achieve outcomes? I can tell you, councils are actually working very well with this government. They trust us and we trust them. You didn't trust them and you got nowhere. Madam Speaker, on the issue of Bays Precinct, what we are trying to do is to do exactly what you're asking for, that is to establish a master plan. The issue of how that is done has been done, I think in this case, with maximum consultation. The honourable member may be aware that there are, I think, 9 consultation sessions, and I think we've completed the first 6, and we are now in the final 3. And I think actually next week, in fact, today week, I know where you will be in the evening. To the member for Balmain, you'll be at the Balmain Town Hall, I think, and other members will be there from that Bays Precinct group. There will also be a meeting at the Leichhardt Town Hall. There'll be a meeting at the Glebe Schools. There are 3 meetings. Public. There are 3 more consultation phases happening next week, and I'm very conscious of those because I'm looking forward to actually getting the results back. I can also say that we've had the acting government architect, Helen Lockhead, actively involved. She was looking at the needs analysis. In other words, what do we actually need from these areas around the foreshore? I can say to you without question that whilst we are actively trying to balance the needs, for example, on what ports need, it's got, as you'd be well aware, one of the last deep water berths for Sydney in that area. while we're trying to balance those current usages, some of which were given away by the former Labor government, while this process was actually occurring in a half-hearted fashion under them, what we are trying to do is balance that. So I'm at the point where I think that and I know because I have directed the members on the committee to make sure that we look at how we provide maximum public access around that area. It's absolutely critical. And it's certainly been one of the high priorities as part of the master plan, but it does have to be balanced against some of the existing land uses, the leases and the actual port needs around the area. But we take on board what you say. We're much more with you than we ever were with the Labor Party.